Hey guys, today I am bringing you another comic book reviews video, and I'm going to be talking about 5 different trades within this video. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's talk about some comics. The first trade that I'm going to be talking about today is Deadpool, Dead Presidents. Now this is the first time that I've read anything about Deadpool, and I think it might be my last time reading anything about Deadpool. I just realized while reading this trade that I'm just not a massive fan of Deadpool, and I just don't think that he's a character that I care to read about. I totally get why people like him though. He is a very interesting character, but I just don't think he's for me. Anyway, in this trade we have all these dead presidents who are brought back to life by a necromancer, and Deadpool is called in to take them out. I did think that this was a very well written comic book. Like I said, the humor was great and the overall storyline was really interesting and a lot of fun to read about. You've got all these dead presidents that are just out for blood, and it was really interesting reading about that. This is definitely a series where the violence is heightened, it's gory, and it's gritty. There's one scene in particular where I was just like, was it necessary for that to be that bloody? Did we really need to see all of that? It was like an explosion of blood. I don't really have much to say about the artwork itself. It didn't necessarily wow me in any way, but that doesn't mean it wasn't done well. It was fine. It just didn't blow me away. Like I said though, there are a lot of graphic scenes within this comic book series, so if that's something that you don't enjoy, then I wouldn't advise picking this up. And if you're a vampire, this comic book series might make you a little bit hungry. Next up, we've got Spider-Gwen Volume 0, Most Wanted. I kind of went into this comic book series with really high expectations, and unfortunately those expectations weren't necessarily met. I still did really enjoy this trade, but I had some issues with it here and there. We start off this trade with a comic from the Edge of Spider-Verse, and we don't really get a conclusion with that story. It just kind of jumps into a different story about Gwen Stacy, and in order to get closure on that first story, you have to pick up Edge of Spider-Verse and read that, and I just kind of found that a little bit ridiculous. But then the rest of this trade paperback just kind of felt disoriented in a way. The way that the story was organized, it just didn't flow very well in my opinion. I still really liked the atmosphere and I really enjoyed the characters as well, but I feel like I have to read The Edge of Spider-Verse in order to fully enjoy this trade. I also felt like Gwen Stacy was just an all-around flat character in this trade. To me, it just felt like there was a lot of inner dialogue where Gwen was just like walking around, proving to the readers that she is Spider-Woman. And I think I would have liked to see her walk the walk more instead of talk the talk. Less talk, more walk, Gwen Stacy. The art style was great, but I went into this one expecting the art style to be great because I had seen lots of samples online, and I just really enjoyed it. It has that color scheme that I love, all those neon, bright colors. Overall, I did really enjoy this. I just had some issues with it. Then I read Young Avengers, Mic Drop at the Edge of Time and Space. This is the final volume in this Young Avengers run, and it makes my heart so sad because I love this run of Young Avengers. It is so great. I really wish that the Gillen and McKelvey team would just continue writing about the Young Avengers, but I know that they have other projects and they want to focus on those more. But they just did these characters justice and just did so great at creating this really interesting storyline. We have this amazing cast of diverse characters, and that's something that I always really appreciate in a comic book series. And they just made each and every character so easy to care about because they're all just such lovable characters. The art in this one was just outrageously beautiful. It's like they stepped up their game even more for this final one, which is crazy because the art style in the first 2 volumes was amazing, and then this one just kind of blew me out of the water with how beautiful it was. I was just so overly satisfied with this finale and how they wrapped up this storyline. I know that this run of Young Avengers is really hard to find, but it's so worth it. If you're able to find this series, go pick it up because it's just so great. I highly recommend it. Then I read the second volume in the Wicked and the Divine series, and this is Fandemonium. This is done by the same creators of Young Avengers, Gillen and McKelvey, and I really love their work together. They are just fantastic together. So this series follows a bunch of gods that come down to the earth to be pop stars, and then after 2 years, they die. And this volume followed the events of Volume 1, which if you guys know how Volume 1 ended, you know how shocking that was. And we also have this really interesting conspiracy storyline going on, and that storyline in general just made this series so much more gripping to me. I didn't love the first volume in this series because I felt like it lacked a lot of enough detail, and it was missing some kind of interesting element to it, but this volume completely made up for that. I think something that this volume did so well was giving us character depth, which is something that I so needed in the first volume, but I didn't get. But this one, it just explores the characters so much more, and you get to know so much more about them. And the characters aren't just like brushed over and introduced to you, you fully get to know them, and that's something that I just so needed in volume 1. This volume also ends with a bang, something that you just don't see coming at all. I didn't see it coming at all. I was just like, what? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It reminded me how I felt at the end of volume 1. That's how I felt in this one, except even more because of reasons I can't say. And I'm actually really surprised that they went in that direction, and it's going to completely affect the storyline, and I can't wait to see what volume 3 has to offer and what it's gonna bring to the table. As always, the artwork was beautiful in this one. I do think that the artwork in volume 1 was a lot stronger. In this one, it felt like they went in a kind of more simple direction, but it was still really great. Overall, I loved The Wicked and the Divine volume 2, and I need to get my hands on volume 3 as soon as possible. And finally, we have Ms. Marvel Volume 3, Crushed. This was like a Valentine's theme volume of Ms. Marvel, and I really enjoyed it. It kind of had this bubbly, lovey-dovey feeling to it. I still really enjoyed it, but it wasn't as engaging as Volume 1 and 2 in my opinion. But we get 2 really exciting features in this volume, and I wasn't expecting that going into this. The first being Loki, which in fact, that's Ms. Marvel's duty in this comic to capture Loki. And we also get this Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. crossover in the end, and I wasn't expecting that at all, and it had me so excited because I'm a massive fan of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show, and I've been really curious about the comic books, so this had me really intrigued, and I might be picking up the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. comics soon. If you've read the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. comics, you guys should let me know down below if you think that I would like them, and if you think that I should pick them up, because they've been on my radar for a while, I just have never picked them up. I think something that I've grown to love about the Ms. Marvel comics is the pacing. It's quick and to the point, while still giving you all the details you need, being entertaining, and providing great character growth. Overall, I really enjoyed this volume. I don't have much else to say about it. It was a lot of fun, it was entertaining, and it was interesting, and the artwork was great, as always. So those are all the comic books that I've been reading recently. You guys should let me know down below if you have read any of these comics and what you thought of them. I'd love to know. Also, as always, I'm open to recommendations. You guys should let me know down below what comics you've been reading lately and what you're loving. Let me know so I can read them and love them as well. Also, if you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so click subscribe if you want to be notified for when I post new videos. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye, chew. Next up, we've got Spider-Gwen. Because they've been on my radar for I can't spit out what I want to say.